Hello students, and welcome to my tutorial of a basic use of the Google Docs that is available through Gmail. If you don't have a Gmail account, you'll need to make one to be able to participate in this. So go ahead and get on that right now, get your Gmail set up, and then you can start following along with the video, which will make so much more sense when you can actually click along with me. So we're going to start on this main screen. I'm just on google.com. You can also start from your Gmail. It doesn't matter because you will have this option bar in the corner of things that you can use. And what we're looking for right now is this 9-block toolbar that'll drop down into a menu that we can use. So you can see all sorts of options that Google presents to us to use, and all of these are really fantastic, but today we are especially looking for the Google Drive. So when you open up Google Drive, it'll be like opening up the storage in your computer. You can see everything that's been saved on here, and everyone gets 15 gigabytes free storage that they can just use on their own. So I've only used 707 megabytes. So I'm not totally sure, but it's definitely not anywhere close to even 1 gigabyte yet. So I'm working up to that, but I haven't quite made it there. And as you can see, I've got work from my high school all the way up until what I'm doing with the Medicine Lake student teaching right now. So some nice features about Google Docs, and the reason that it's so important to use it in the first place, are that Google Docs are something that you can constantly have access to because they're saved on the internet, and that are really fun for sharing different pieces of work with. You wouldn't necessarily be able to do this with Google or with Office Word or any of the other Office products, but this is about the same format in a shareable, workable function that's really fantastic. If you've got a paper that you're typing over the weekend, or if you're out of town, or if you're sick and you're trying to get something turned in or a rough draft checked, if you want to make sure that you're doing something correct, you can put it on a Google Doc, share it with your teacher, and your teacher can live time, edit it in front of you, communicate with you in a text box, and make sure that everything is correct over the internet without having to be on the phone, which is really, really interesting. Not that there's voice in this, but the functionality is so useful that you don't even need to pick up the phone anymore. So let's go ahead and start looking at the Google Docs. You can see that there's a menu over here. We want to be in my drive. You can see my folders that I've already constructed when as I've been using Google Docs over the years to keep myself organized. I've got a Shared With Me tab over here. The Shared With Me tab is where I would go if I was looking for something that someone invited me to look at. So you can always go into your Shared With Me tab and look under the things that people have worked with you on. I've used this a lot with my classes in college. There have been times where a professor will ask us to do a group project, or where a professor will have a lot of documents to share with us over the course of a semester, and we can all be in a group class document together. Or like in high school, if you're presented with a PowerPoint on a science project that you need to show to the class, and you're working with 3 other people and it's a group of 4, you can do all of this work together from separate homes and not have to meet up in the library per se to be able to work out what everybody is doing, which is really nice. You can live time keep track of what other people are adding and how they're changing things, which is really, really interesting and really cool to see happen. Sadly, I don't have a partner with me right now, or I'd show you a little bit more of those features, but I'm sure that after this you can test them out amongst your friends and start developing cool new little techniques of communication. They're really fun. So this is a great way to back up your information if you've got a computer or a piece of technology like I've got my personal laptop right now. If this crashes, everything that's saved on Google Drive will still be here, and anything that's only saved on my computer will be lost. So Google Drive can really save your life in that way. Okay, so let's open up a Google document. If you go under this new tab, or you can right-click anywhere on this gray mat area, but let's start with this new tab. You've got the folder option. If you click on that, a new folder will be added. You can give it a title, sample folder, yes. and I can create that. It's working, and now I've got my sample folder added. It's going to just be empty right now, but we'll put some documents in that later. So the other options you have are file upload. You can upload a file you've already got on your computer. You don't have to try and copy and paste it. You can just upload it right onto your Google document, which is very, very convenient. You've got Google Documents, which is the equivalent of Office Word. You've got Google Sheets, which is the equivalent of Office Excel. You've got Slides, which is the equivalent of PowerPoint, and you even have more. You've got Forms, you've got Google Drawings, you've got Google My Maps, and you can connect even more apps to this. Today we're going to stick with looking mostly at Google Docs, but when you look at Google Docs, you'll be able to use Google Sheets and Google Slides pretty easily as well, knowing your previous knowledge of Excel and PowerPoint. So let's open up a Google Doc. And this is the simple screen that you get, which is nice. It's very aesthetic, very easy to look at. So you've already got your home button over here. This is where all your documents are. If you ever click on that and you want to go there, this is where a document title would go. You've got your file, edit, view, insert buttons all along the top, your options there, print, undo, redo, your zoom size of the page, the style of text that you have, Arial, your different fonts that you can use, and the size, bold, italics. You see all of these, which you've seen before, which is really nice. So let's add a sample title here. Once I click off of this, and it'll save automatically. It says saving, all changes saved in Google Drive. So that means that this entire document is permanently saved into the thing unless I delete it, which is awesome. The sample title is up there, but as long as it's automatically saving, everything that you type will continue to remain. If you're typing and it's storming outside and your power goes down and your computer shuts off, the last words that you typed on Google Docs should remain. You might lose a little bit of it if the saving doesn't keep up, but because it's always automatically saving for you, you're going to have a lot more to work with once you get power up again, instead of if you're working on a Word document and your computer dies and the entire thing is lost because you've forgotten to save it. And we all do that, we all forget. So this is kind of human proof, which is nice, and weatherproof in a way. So let's look at the options we have for typing. There we go. It's saving, and the changes are saved in Drive. If we X out of this right now, that's my sample title document, and if you open it up, everything is still saved, which is super nice. So let's say that you want to do a group project with 2 other people, or you have to through the night, and you're responsible for constructing a speech for tomorrow. So you decide to set it up on Google Docs together so that everyone's part is established. You can each print out the same copy of the script. You all know what you're doing, and it'll all be live updated right here in front of you. This share button over here shows that this is only set to me right now. But if we open it up, we can enter email addresses that help us to share. Now, you're going to want to use your friends' Gmail accounts if you're going to share, because that's how they're going to be able to access this. So let's say that we want to share this with Mr. Cook. Now, this isn't a Google address, but as long as he has a Gmail account, that's something you can share it with. Here's his Google. So we can share it with the Google account here, and you can see that his little picture shows up. We definitely know it's him. And you can even share more people. So like, let's share a second person, and you can keep adding more and more people. Here's a recommendation of someone that we're often all connected to. We don't need to do that. Add a note, please look this over for me before Monday. So you could send a note like that. You don't even have to send anything, but if you send this invite, he'll get a notification in his email saying that there's a Google document that he is allowed to edit. You can also change it so if you just want someone to view what you have and not be able to touch it, you can click you can view, and if you want someone to only be able to add comments but not to be able to fully edit your piece without your knowledge, then you can have add can comment. So I'll show you what those options will look like without sending that, that link. So here's how you can look at those. So editing right now is just being able to type. If I was under, let's say, suggesting, and we wanted to only have someone be able to suggest, which is an option, you can suggest different words than what is written. So you can see how that gets added on there. And you can also substitute different words in. Now you can see that these are adding boxes along the sides. When I click on a box, it'll say, it'll show the suggestion in bold, and you can see exactly what the person is trying to add. You can see what this comment relates to. So let's say I like this particular comment that somebody has added to my piece. I can click accept, and it's permanently a part of my piece. Being able to substitute. You know what? Substitute is a better word than type. That's what I really meant. Let's accept that too. Or you can deny. I don't like this piece. I don't think that it's really adding on, and I think that they misinterpreted what I'm trying to say. So let's just X out of that, and the suggestion has been denied. Meanwhile, all changes have been saved, so everything that's been done so far has been updated and saved, which is nice. You can also add a comment. If you're able to comment, then you can highlight a section of words, a section of type, even just something as simple as a space, and say, this rocks. Now let's look at adding and make that comment permanent. There's an option to keep replying, and you can have an ongoing conversation. I can personally edit what I wanted to say. Let's say I messed up in something that I typed, or I wanted to change what I wanted to say. I can edit it, or I can delete that comment. Those are options for you if these are the comments that you are leaving. So let's just resolve it. Let's say that, okay, I read it, I thought it was fine. I'm just going to make sure that that's resolved. And these comments are all stored up here. So if you resolve something and you think, uh-oh, I didn't want to resolve that, I pressed the button on accident, I still want to see it, you can reopen it. You can reopen different things. So, and all of the comments are still up here anyway, so they're still easy to find. And this has been reopened, so we'll keep that resolved for now. You can see how fantastic it would be to have someone freely suggest to you different options without just changing your work, so you can see the difference that they're trying to make and judge for yourself if it's something that you truly want to take on. So these are the first few options of using Google Docs. There are, of course, hundreds of ways that these can be implemented, and it's a very similar sort of layout if you used PowerPoint or if you use the Excel format of this. Anyway, so if there are any questions, shoot me an email, let me know, and hopefully you liked this demonstration.